The restaurant's private dining room was full of Mom's friends, 50 people celebrating her 60th birthday. I'd arrived on time, brought a gift, and planned to stay for an hour before the pain in my joints became unbearable. I was sitting quietly at a corner table when Mom stood up to give her toast. She'd had 2 glasses of wine. Her face was flushed, her voice carrying across the room. "I want to thank everyone for coming," she said, raising her glass. 60 years old and still going strong, unlike some people who complain about being tired at 32. She looked directly at me. Several guests followed her gaze. "Still playing sick for attention," she said, and people laughed. "My daughter has been in pain for 5 years now. Funny how it never stops her from going to work, but somehow she can't help with family events." More laughter. My aunt nodded knowingly. My cousin smirked. I felt my phone buzz in my pocket but ignored it, keeping my face neutral. "Doctors can't find anything wrong," Mom continued, "because there's nothing wrong. It's all in her head. But try telling her that." The room erupted in sympathetic murmurs and knowing glances in my direction. I pulled out my phone. The notification was from the patient portal, lab results available. I opened the app while Mom continued her speech about how hard it was to have a dramatic daughter. The results loaded: complete blood panel, inflammatory markers, autoimmune screening. All the tests my rheumatologist had ordered last month after 5 years of symptoms without a clear diagnosis. The words jumped out at me: elevated ANA, positive anti-GNA antibodies. Markers consistent with systemic lupus erythematosus. Refer to rheumatology for treatment plan. Lupus. After 5 years of being told I was fine, that it was stress, that I needed to exercise more, try yoga, think positive thoughts. After 5 years of pain so severe some days I couldn't grip a pen. After 5 years of my mother telling everyone I was faking, I finally had an actual diagnosis. A real, documented autoimmune disease. I looked up. Mom was still talking, saying something about how young people today don't know what real hardship is. I stood up. The movement caught her attention. She paused mid-sentence. "Funny," I said, my voice carrying across the quiet room. "The doctors just confirmed who's really sick in this family." I picked up my purse and walked out. The call started an hour later. My sister first, then my father, then my brother. I didn't answer. I was sitting in my rheumatologist's office, squeezing in an emergency appointment to discuss the results. "Lupus explains everything," Dr. Martinez said, showing me the test results on her computer screen. "The joint pain, the fatigue, the flares that come and go. You weren't imagining it. This is a real serious autoimmune condition." "What's the treatment?" "We'll start with hydroxychloroquine, possibly add an immunosuppressant depending on how you respond. We need to monitor your kidney function closely, as lupus can affect the kidneys. You'll need regular blood work, probably every 3 months initially." I absorbed this information: a chronic illness, medication, monitoring, but also validation, proof that I wasn't crazy, that the pain was real. "Can I ask?" Dr. Martinez said carefully, "Do you have family support?" Managing a chronic condition is much easier with understanding family members. I laughed. Actually laughed. "No. My family thinks I've been faking for attention." She frowned. "That's unfortunately common with invisible illnesses. Perhaps showing them the lab results would help." Perhaps. I left with prescriptions and a stack of educational materials about lupus. Drove home, finally listened to the voicemails. My sister. "What was that dramatic exit about?" "Mom's upset. You ruined her party." My father. "Your mother is crying. You embarrassed her in front of her friends. Call her and apologize." My brother. "Really mature, making Mom's birthday about you again. Some things never change." I deleted all of them. 3 days later, my father called from a number I didn't recognize. I answered by accident. "Finally," he said, "we need to talk about your behavior at the party." "Actually, we need to talk about my lupus diagnosis." Silence. "Your what?" "Lupus. Systemic lupus erythematosus. It's an autoimmune disease. The test results came in during Mom's party. That's what I was looking at on my phone while she mocked me for being sick." I don't understand. "For 5 years, I've had joint pain, fatigue, and inflammation. For 5 years, I've been going to doctors trying to figure out what was wrong. For 5 years, Mom has been telling everyone I'm faking, and during her birthday party, while she was literally mocking me for playing sick, I received confirmation that I have a serious chronic illness. More silence. So you actually have something. Yes, Dad. I actually have something. A documented autoimmune disease that will require lifelong treatment and monitoring. Your mother didn't know. Your mother didn't believe me. There's a difference. I told her I was sick. I told her about the symptoms. She chose to think I was lying. Well, she feels terrible now. Does she? Has she called to apologize? Pause. She's dealing with her own health issues right now. That's actually why I'm calling. Something in his tone made me sit up straighter. What health issues? She's been having some problems. Fatigue, swelling. The doctors ran some tests. Her kidney function is severely decreased. Stage 4 kidney failure. I absorbed this. Kidney failure. Stage 4 meant she was approaching end-stage renal disease, dialysis, transplant. When did she find out? 2 weeks ago. She didn't want to worry anyone until she had more information. 2 weeks before her birthday party. 2 weeks before she stood up and mocked me for being sick. She'd known she had kidney failure and still chose to publicly humiliate me. The doctors say she needs a transplant, Dad continued. We're all getting tested to see if anyone's a match. We'd like you to get tested too. No. What? I said no. I'm not getting tested. She's your mother. She needs a kidney. She's the mother who spent 5 years telling everyone I was faking illness, who mocked me at her own birthday party, who called me dramatic and attention-seeking. No, you can't be serious. She could die without a transplant. Then she should hope one of her other children is a match, or her friends who laughed along with her jokes. I'm sure one of them will help. You're really going to hold a grudge over some jokes? They weren't jokes, Dad. They were years of systematic dismissal of my real medical condition. And I'm not holding a grudge. I'm setting a boundary. I don't owe her my organ. She's family. Family doesn't humiliate each other at birthday parties. Family doesn't call their sick daughter a liar for 5 years. Find another donor. I hung up. The pressure campaign started immediately. My siblings called daily. Extended family members reached out. My mother's friends sent messages, all saying the same things. She's your mother. Family helps family. It was just jokes. She didn't mean it. You need to forgive her. How can you let her die? I blocked most of them. My mother finally called herself 2 weeks later. I answered. I'm sorry, she said immediately. I'm sorry for not believing you. I'm sorry for the things I said at my party. I was wrong. Okay. I'm sick, really sick. I need a kidney transplant. I know, Dad told me. Will you get tested? To see if you're a match? No. Please, I'm begging you. I could die without a transplant. You knew you had kidney failure before your birthday party, I said. You knew you were seriously ill, and you still stood up in front of 50 people and mocked me for being sick. Called me dramatic. Said I was faking. While you were in kidney failure and I had undiagnosed lupus. I was scared. I was dealing with my diagnosis and I lashed out. You lashed out at me, your daughter, who was actually sick, who needed support, and you chose cruelty instead. I said I'm sorry. You're sorry now that you need something from me, a kidney. But for 5 years, you weren't sorry. You were dismissive and mean, and you taught everyone around us to doubt me too. So you're going to let me die? Out of spite? I'm not letting you die. I'm choosing not to donate an organ to someone who spent years denying my illness. Those are different things. But you're a match. The preliminary tests show you're likely compatible. I went cold. What tests? The blood samples from your lupus diagnosis. Your doctor sent them to the transplant center at our request. That's a privacy violation. Your father signed a release. We're family. The doctors understood. I felt anger rising. You took my medical information without my consent? We needed to know if family members were potential matches. You're the same blood type. The initial markers look good. You're probably our best option. I didn't consent to that testing. Will you at least think about it? Please? I have lupus, Mom, an autoimmune disease. That makes me a higher risk donor. The surgery could trigger a major flare. It could worsen my condition. Did your doctors mention that? Silence. Did they tell you that taking the kidney from someone with lupus is more complicated? That my immune system is already attacking my body and major surgery could make it worse? They said there were risks, but that you could still donate. Of course they said I could still donate. They need a kidney for their patient. But did they tell you what it might cost me? You'd save my life, and potentially ruin mine. I have a chronic illness too now, remember? One you didn't believe in until you needed something from me. I'm your mother. You're the woman who laughed at me for being sick. Find another donor." I ended the call. My rheumatologist called the next day. "I received a request from a transplant center for your records. Did you consent to organ donation testing?" "No. My mother's doctors took my blood work without my permission." "That's concerning. I've denied the request and filed a complaint. For the record, I would not recommend you as a kidney donor given your lupus diagnosis. The surgery and recovery could trigger a serious flare. The immunosuppressants after donation could complicate your lupus treatment. This is not a good medical decision for you. Thank you. I'm documenting this in your chart. If anyone pressures you, refer them to me." The family pressure intensified. My father showed up at my apartment. My siblings sent long emails about family obligation. My mother's friends left voicemails about forgiveness and compassion. I didn't budge. My mother started dialysis 3 weeks later, 3 times a week, 4 hours at a time. She was placed on the transplant waiting list, but the wait time for a deceased donor kidney was 3 to 5 years. My brother turned out to be incompatible, wrong blood type. My sister had high blood pressure that disqualified her. My father was too old and had diabetes. None of Mom's friends volunteered. 6 weeks after the birthday party, I received a letter from my mother, actually mailed to my apartment. "I know I hurt you. I know I was wrong about your illness. I'm sorry. I'm learning what it's like to be sick now, to have people not understand, to feel your body failing. I understand now why my words hurt you so much. But I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking for your kidney because I'm your mother and I want to live. I'm asking you to be the bigger person, to save my life even though I didn't believe in your pain. Please." I read the letter 3 times. Then I wrote a response. "Mom, you say you understand now what it's like to be sick, but you don't, because everyone believes you're sick. Everyone is sympathetic. Everyone is trying to help you. I was sick for 5 years, and you told everyone I was lying. You made me doubt myself. You isolated me from family support when I needed it most. You're asking me to be the bigger person, to give you a kidney despite how you treated me. But being the bigger person doesn't mean sacrificing my health for yours. I have lupus. Donating a kidney puts me at risk for complications, flares, and long-term health problems. My doctor has advised against it. Medically, this is a bad decision for me. But even if it were medically safe, I would still say no. Not out of spite, not out of revenge, but because I learned from you that boundaries matter, that protecting your own health comes first, that you're not obligated to sacrifice yourself for people who don't respect you. You taught me those lessons through your actions. I'm just applying them now. I hope you find a donor. I hope you survive. But it won't be my kidney. Your daughter who was sick the whole time." I mailed the letter and blocked my family's numbers. 3 months later, my cousin reached out. We'd been close before all this. She was one of the few who hadn't joined the pressure campaign. "Mom found a donor," she said. "A friend from her church. Not a perfect match, but good enough. She's having the surgery next month." "That's good." "It is, but I wanted you to know that everyone's still angry at you." "I know. Are you okay with that?" I thought about it, about the chronic pain I'd endured while being called a liar, about the birthday party mockery, about the pressure to give up an organ to someone who denied my illness for years. "Yeah," I said. "I'm okay with it. I'd rather have my dignity than their approval." My mother survived the transplant. Last I heard, she's doing well, adjusting to life with anti-rejection medications and regular monitoring. I'm doing well too. The lupus medication is working. My flares are less frequent. I've built a support network of people who believe me when I say I'm in pain. Sometimes survival means choosing yourself, even when everyone tells you you're selfish for it. I chose myself, and I'd make the same choice again.